And okay, we are live. Good evening, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back to Nerd Chat Central. Thank you for the waving arms, Ken. I love the excitement. And John and Harry, we haven't even gotten into things yet, and you're already fighting.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't started yet. We're already giggling at each other.
How these things work. You guys know that.
Yeah.
So, hello again. As you guys may already know, I'm Zach, and over on the far side there, we have our co-hosts, Alice and Eve. Ladies, you want to say hi, introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Alice. I think Eve is muted at the moment.
I unmuted myself to avoid people in the background.
Right.
I was muted.
And then we have a number of special guests with us tonight. We have Jared Finn.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
It's been far too long.
I know. It really has.
We're fixing that. And beside Jared, we have a couple of Alice's friends. Alice, you want to ring them in?
My friends John and Gary, who do the Moore Show.
That's me.
Welcome, guys. And right beside those two is my buddy Dan from his YouTube channel, RFS Dan.
Yes, hello, I'm Dan. I'm a daily vlogger. You can find me at youtube.com/rfsdan. I know a little bit about podcasts, maybe only 2 things about them, but I'm here to give any information I can.
Yeah, we're doing podcasts with a couple of your friends a while back, right?
Yes, about a year and a half ago, season 2 of this collab channel we worked on. We tried to do an all video/podcast, where we had video as well, and it was hard. It was very challenging, but we tried to do that for about 17 episodes. Nobody was in the same location, so it was a lot of Skype splicing and background noise and craziness. But yes, I did do that.
Okay, cool. Right on. Okay, well, let's just jump right into it. John, Gary, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about your podcast?
Well, I started it, a couple of months ago?
Yeah, it feels like we've been off and on at it for over a year.
We did a show called The More You Know for a while, and we stopped it for a while, and I love doing them so much, so I decided, you know what, let's get back together and do it again. So me and John got sat down, and I came up with the idea, and we talk nerd stuff and movies and music and books and all kind of crap.
Everything across the board?
Everything.
Pretty much. Yeah,
we're not really good at staying on topic.
No.
Who is?
We're not the best guys.
No.
We get off our tangent every now and again.
Trails. And so you've been doing it for a while, and through that time you've grown quite a big audience.
Oh, I wish.
Well, we're still working on that. It's a work in progress, so hopefully in the next few months it'll grow a little more. We haven't advertised it like crazy.
Grow a little more.
Media presence a little bit, get our blog together, and just kind of making our mark.
Slowly.
50 Shades of Hot.
Ignore the chat.
Oh yeah, they're just going ballistic about something.
Is that what it is? Is that why I see all these crazy things popping up over people's heads? I'm like, what are you guys doing that I don't know about? Oh, I gotta find this chat.
My job is to distract or make giggle.
Yeah.
It's called,
Yeah.
and I act like a 2-year-old. So.
She does.
Yeah,
That's why Jared got away from
already.
We all have our moments. We all have our moments.
It's true.
This question
Very,
that
very
I ask people when I meet them, and it's pretty fucked up. So here goes, okay? You wake up in the middle of the woods.
All right.
You've got a bloody condom in your ass, and your chest is covered in cake frosting. Do you tell anyone?
You know, my mom just came home with that same story last night.
You guys want to go camping?
That's,
Seriously,
you
why
know-
are you guys reading my diary?
Oh gosh. Oh, the stories.
Zach
Oh,
is getting
goodness.
red. Zach
Yeah.
is blushing.
Zach is definitely red.
Oh yeah. Very, very.
Good. This is good.
I'm just curious to see if that many people went up the stairs at all. Belle, are you upstairs yet? She needs to come upstairs.
Oh
She
God!
needs to come upstairs to the door. Now.
Oh my god, it is a cute.
Sorry, this is not.
Okay.
Child, run.
I need to put that cable line back up to my upstairs mom room because this is not going to work.
Speaking of getting off subject,
Yes. Let's
Here we
maybe
go.
try to turn this back to podcasts. So yeah, definitely the More Show sounds great. Everybody definitely go check it out and support them. They're, as you can tell, they're awesome guys and very funny.
Please.
And who doesn't love talking about nerd stuff? And Jared, why don't you give us a little taste of your podcast?
okay, mine, like the guys at the Moore Show, has been kind of off and on for a while now. Lately, because of changing circumstances and living arrangements, but that's a whole other story. But my podcast is called the Renaissance Nerdcast. I am not into Renaissance fairs or anything like that, but I call that, it's a play on the Renaissance man term. You know, a Renaissance man is a man that knows everything, but I'm not George Clooney enough to be a Renaissance man. So it's about all things nerdy, from movies to video games to books. I have a master's of divinity, so I went to seminary. So I discussed theology, just everything that within the nerdverse. I'm turning into a YouTube station also, where I have videos up there. I have video footage of my podcast. I've done interviews with. I have a director friend out of Baltimore who's been making some really big Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan films, who I've had him in the cast on and interviewed that. I have a special series called Creative Corner where I highlight and profile everyday people in the creative arts. So I've interviewed a friend that's a YouTuber. He gives advice. I've interviewed a friend that is an actor, and he's given advice into that. And then I am debuting a new show that I've talked about. Eve and Zach may have heard about this a while ago, but it's called Weird But Edible. And it's I'm a big fan of Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern.
Like a chocolate covered pretzel?
Yeah, you will see. But I am gonna eat really weird things on camera, and my reaction, and also bring in like nerdy fictional food, like food from do Klingon recipes and recipes from Harry Potter and World of Warcraft. My debut episode is actually me eating the food I've hated the most from my childhood, and that's gefilte fish.
Oh.
What was that? Like jackfruit or something, too? One
What
like
was
the
it?
spiny pod.
Oh yeah, I filmed, like, I was gonna make it a full web series, and I filmed an episode where I'm eating sweetbreads, which is a thyroid gland in the lamb, or a thymus gland, and where I eat durian. So,
That's it.
Wow.
I could smell that through the computer. It was disgusting.
I can't wait to see it either, Dan.
I have a Star Wars Wookiee cookbook. It's not as
Wow.
gross as we.
Wookiee cookies?
There you go. Wookiee cookies.
I just feel like no matter what I eat out of that cookbook, I'm going to be pulling pieces of hair out of my mouth.
That's pretty true. Oh, true enough. Oh, so definitely. And with the Knights of Nirvana, a while back when you guys were doing podcasts, you also had, did you have a couple on there?
Yeah, I did a podcast called Turning the Page about literature and all that. And then Mandy from the Nerd Army and I did a TV podcast called Pinky and the TV Nerd. And so...
Are those going to start back up at any point?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, lots going on.
Yes.
I do have a question for you, Zach.
Hmm?
I said I do have a question for you, Zach.
Okay.
When you guys were interviewing some of the cast members of the Keen of Nerds, how difficult was it to reach out to them and get them to agree to come onto your podcast? And did you have to like sell yourself or give them any kind of insurance that your podcast was legitimate before they would come onto it, or were they just willing to just show up?
Those are many different questions.
They were all willing. They
Yeah, they're all really
wanted so badly. It was permission from the PR that was terrible.
I can give some insight to this because I did my blog. I started my blog. It's I'm sorry, I can't talk. My tongue is like.
It's fine.
But
tongue-tied already.
My blog started with my interviews with the second season cast members, and that was a little bit more tricky because I had not established myself. But when I went to ask for, it was the same PR person, and it was a lot easier because I had interviewed cast members before. But all of the cast members, they are, like Zach said, very willing. I'm actually friends with a few of them because they're living in my hometown. But the cast, no problem. It's just the hoops that they have to jump through with PR and with TBS because if the slightest wrong move and they can get in a lot of trouble.
Sure. When you say they have to jump, do you guys have to jump through the PR hoops, or they have to go and get it all handled for you guys?
Well, there's not much of a hoop, and we just have to ask and contact the PR person, but they kind of have to make sure, okay, we can't say this, we can't say that, we need to make sure this is approved, what can we say, all that. Yeah. Zach, can you add to that?
Yeah, pretty much. Like in the past when we would talk with King of the Nerds cast members, there was a lot of stepping around corners because there was things they couldn't talk about, but they wanted to still give kind of give enough information to keep the conversation going, so they had to do a lot of stepping around, and then we also, as asking the questions, we also had to understand that that there was that boundary.
Yeah.
But for the most part,
that's interesting. Thanks.
It was relatively good.
It's an interesting experience when I interviewed the second season. After the fact, after the season had ended. So there was not as many boundaries because they didn't have the risk of spoiling anything.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah.
But then I had 5 or 6 of the season 3 members on my podcast, only 3 or 4 episodes into the season. So I had to be very careful. There was a few freak out moments when I was like, oh crap. But they had to be very careful also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, our pleasure. Thank you for the question.
I guess the best thing to say about talking to people and talking to like all these reality show people is just to be yourself and to be as genuine and as honest with them as possible, because that's what everybody wants. And as long as you can do that, then they'll go along with whatever you want. So.
But I think King of the Nerds is a unique reality show in that the people that you got on camera, they are exactly the same off camera.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of opportunities to hang out with a few cast members, and they're even better people than in some cases that you get.
As they portray themselves on TV, that's just like a small percentage of what they're actually like. And it's not that it's different, but it's elevated.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, I can appreciate that.
I'll tell you what, though, Brian Davidson from second season, he's the exact same character. He's just as silly as he was on the show. He's even sillier.
The best.
Yes. I've been trying to get him and Thomas on to have a Gollum off.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be
Been
awesome.
begging for that month, so. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Put it out.
So, one thing that I've been wondering for a little while, from listening to various podcasts and seeing videos of how some people do podcasts, a lot of people that I've seen do Google Plus Hangouts and then take the audio from that. Is that the format that you guys use?
I actually, since I use a Mac, there is a software at least for Mac, where I can use Skype and record the video chat and the audio, and then
the call recorder.
Yeah, call recorder, and then you can split the audio from the video and have two different files, or you can change the way the video view is shown, or split. Like if I'm hosting the call, I can split the video of me from the video of them and edit it that way. So there's a lot of options out there. I'm fairly new to podcasting, and it seems like there's more and more software within the few recent years.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Our audio's pretty good from our Skype calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that how you and the Random Fun Squad did your stuff back a year and a half ago, Dan?
Actually, we did the theory that Jared was talking about, and it worked out okay. It just depends on who's hosting the call, and we would get people to lagging out and stuff sometimes, and that was a very big issue. Whereas Open Broadcast Server, although you can't split the tracks, they're all pressed into one. It seems to be a lot cleaner picture, but I did do the Mac thing that Jared did, and we did pretty well on that. We did get through like 20 episodes or so of 4 people on the screen, and with our overlay and stuff like that through that program. So that's pretty much how you would want to do it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Dan.
Anything's better than Google Hangouts.
Yes.
I've
noticed that.
They're trying.
But it also really does matter the internet connection of who's hosting.
Yeah.
I benefited from having a roommate formerly that worked IT and would work from home at times. So we had 100 megabytes per second. And being hardwired then was awesome. I'm in a different situation now, so it may not be as good, but it just really depends on your equipment, your internet connection, who hosts. Now, if I was trying to do 5 or 6 people at the same time on Skype, the video quality may be a lot different, or the audio quality might be a lot different. But when it's just me interviewing another person or 2 other people, the audio quality is like they're just there recording on the mic.
So we do our weekly D&D games and then they're put up on the Night of Nirvana, and that's done through Google Hangouts. And usually one of us at some point drops and disconnects, and and they have to reconnect.
Yeah.
But that's the great thing about technology is it's almost there, this is great, and then it goes and it stabs you right in the back, and then you're back to square one. But even just 5 years ago, or in about 2009 or so, you would need a $10,000 TriCaster to get all of us to show up on the screen at the same time. So we're making big progress, I believe.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's just going to keep going up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, to me, it sounds like that the Skype call is probably the most effective way to go. And I'm wondering if we can get John and Gary's input on here.
Yeah, we got input.
We're just listening to y'all.
We're just listening to y'all. We're audio based. We have a couple of studio mics. We go into a mixer. Actually, that's what you're listening to us on right now. And we do a hard recording. We throw it up to our Buzzsprout page and link it through our blog, and that's it. We aren't really live. We don't really do video because you can't see right now, but the room we're in, it's a square table, and it's kind of a round table situation. We're all looking at each other in the eye while we're doing it. So when we push record, we're just fucking off and hanging out.
Yeah.
So
in May, I'm supposed to line up a couple of interviews at Comic Palooza with a couple of the cast members of Comic Book Men, and Ming Chen is a buddy of mine. We're gonna do an interview, and we're gonna. I got Eddie McClintock online to do a interview, and Tara Strong. Yeah, Tara Strong is also wanting to be on the show as well.
Jealous.
Really
Absolutely jealous.
I'll for sure tune into the Mean Channel.
this guy's autograph portfolio.
Yeah,
it's mind-boggling. It really is.
And most of them I got for free just because I am nice to them. Like I treat them like everybody else.
See, that's the thing. I think whether you're big or small, people will come on podcasts if you treat them. Yeah, it's about how you treat the person. If you're like sitting there freaking out and acting like a fangirl or whatever, but if you're just sitting and having a conversation like we are, it's a good experience.
It works out great.
Yeah.
They're more inclined to believe that you're a professional when you talk to them.
Yeah, definitely. Those moments when like you kind of like want to have the fan art moment, but you have it on the inside, but on the outside you gotta keep your composure. Yeah. And that makes things go a lot smoother.
Gary, you've seen me fangirl at a con, right? You've seen it at least once. Yeah.
Like next to celebrities when you have fangirled out on them and walked off, and they was like, "Wow, she's a big fan," and she was like, "Yeah."
But see, but also the thing is not to not be afraid to ask to have a certain person on your show. The worst they're gonna say is no. I almost had Amy Jo Johnson from one of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on my podcast to promote her new feature-length film. But I mean, these are also people that have families and have lives, and what's gonna suck is if you're not big, they may not feel like they need to set specific time out for you because it may not benefit, but I mean, asking leads somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It other opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the entertainers of today are finally starting to pay some respect to the creators and the people that are on the internet and starting to give them time because they see the millions of subscribers and the millions of followers, and this guy's just a normal person. So I think they're starting to come around and really starting to give attention to what the future of media is, and that's people like you and I, as average people that can get a good following and make a footprint if you do them wrong and stuff, you know. So I think they're starting to come around, and I like that. I like that.
I agree.
This day and age, you can get famous by just being on the internet and talking about stuff, and they know it.
Yeah.
That you could be the next.
That's really the best way that you can spread a message or just get to know people and have people know who you are is by doing what you love to do, whether that's in video or audio for a podcast.
Yeah.
Even if it is just a voice, one day someone might hear your show and recognize your voice, and that will stick in their minds.
Oh yeah. Well, we also saturate the blog and our websites with pictures of us doing what we do, so they can at least see us doing what we do.
Yeah. Sure. It's always good to have those different aspects of one thing. Gives the audience a better look into what all is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys, John and Gary, when you guys do your podcasts all the time in that room, or do you go on location anywhere?
I will do location recordings in May. I'll be going to Comicpalooza, and I'll have a couple portable audio interviews. But most of the time, we just do it right here in this homemade studio that we've kind of done for ourselves.
It's kind of magical.
How do you do this portable?
An intimate feel.
You know, if there's a spare bedroom that we had in my house that was just collecting crap, and I was like, you know what? Studio. That's what we're going to do it.
Instant studio.
Exactly.
Soundproof. This stuff is soundproof.
Recording set. All right, good. We're done. Let's do this.
Yes,
Oh, I see a baby in the house.
The great thing about studios and equipment and all that there's a lot of information out there on the internet. A lot of what I've learned is just from Googling.
This is a picture of my Penny. Isn't she cute? Look at Penny.
Can't see Penny. Penny's just shiny. I see ears, and that's about it.
Yeah, I got it. Let's see the picture again. I got you guys on screen lock.
That was so cute.
Oh.
The kitty. Oh, it is a little. I'm sure mine'll jump up and bite me pretty soon. So how do you do the mobile ones? You just take a mic, without getting all the background.
Different setup?
We haven't done that yet, actually. We don't know.
Oh.
So was it, I'm sure you can't just go up to somebody and go, hey, let's go to a hotel room so we can do a podcast.
That sounds legit.
I hope they're doing only a podcast in the hotel room.
Hey, does that work if I go up to like Nathan Philly and go, hey, can we go to, let's go podcast?
Jared, how did you feel about a donkey show? Don't come back to the hotel room with us.
Alice and I have a whole list of people that would be. Look at the smirk on her face, though. She knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What I usually do is I hit them up about 2 or 3 months before, just like, hey, I'm going to be at this con. Would you mind doing an interview with me? You know, just a 5-10 minute thing. And everybody that I've reached out to, the 4 or 5 people that I've reached out to, have all said, yeah, so just let me know. We'll do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's way cool.
Yeah, for sure. Now, when, I'm just thinking here, for maybe from going to cons,
Mm-hmm.
I know I think it's the Happy Hour podcast. Would you, after a certain period of time, would you approach them and see if you could, work with them in some way?
Well, Yeah. I kind of let it slip that I do a podcast, and they're like, "Oh, really?" And you just kind of ease it into the way of the conversation. Next thing you know, you're like, "Hey, I've got a microphone. Let's do it." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, sure, why not?"
Totally cross podcast collaboration.
Exactly.
Kind of almost effectively what we're doing right now, except there's also video with it.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd go with radio. It's a little easier and cheaper to do for me anyway. So it just, I was like, you know what? Let's do radio because we thought about setting up a camera in here, but the way we do the show is like a round table, and it just doesn't work for camera. It just works better as we're here to having a conversation. Let the microphones pick up.
Yeah. I think there's one podcast that I listened to, they started out being in vlogs, and one of them still does vlogs, but then, well, actually they're both doing vlogs, but then they kind of, from that, discovered that they really like doing audio shows as podcasts, so that's how they started up. And Dan, I want to go to you with this. From back when you did the podcasts and now that you're doing vlogs, was that a natural progression for you? Did you actually go through the thought process of, well, this is cool, but I want to actually put video into what I do?
Actually, by the time we have done the vlogs and the podcast was audio video also as well, but I had already been doing vlogs for a few years before that. Since 2009, I've been doing stuff like that. So it was just an easy transition. Just we still had the video and we would just talk about topics. It was kind of like a sitting vlog. It was a lot harder in the fact that when you have 4 people on the screen, it's hard to edit yourself, and you have to edit yourself on the fly. So when I do a vlog, during editing, I get what they say, I get a second bite of the apple. I get to go ahead and manipulate myself to sound or say the things that I want to reflect me, instead of on the podcast where I'm having to run a whole nother filter in my brain going, is this right? Should I say these things? I went on this thing that I'm not proud of where I made all these Helen Keller jokes, and they seem to get worse every week, and it was hard to try to filter what you were going to say before. Is this right? Is this wrong? So editing, you definitely get a second bite at the apple, so it's a lot easier, I feel, to do a vlog all day long and try to be entertaining in an 8-hour span than to sit in front of a microphone for, let's say an hour and a half and try to just exhaust myself trying to filter out what I think is correct or not.
Yeah, because that's definitely, keeping yourself in check and filtering yourself on the spot, can be ridiculous.
It is. It's weird what you want to say in front of your friends that you don't want to say in public, even though, it's just jokes and stuff. But, yeah, you really don't want to offend anybody, the masses,
Not everyone's going to have the same perception of it as you.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so no, definitely.
We kind of just don't worry about people's reactions, so we just kind of warn people, hey, look, this is going to get explicit. Yeah.
What's a filter?
I'm getting into.
I'm sorry?
I was just saying that it's definitely good to forewarn the audience so they know, okay, I know, they have a good sense of what may be coming.
Yeah. We try to... Every show has a rating hey, this is mature. Don't listen to it unless you are willing to be offended.
Yeah.
So.
I want to add to that real quick. I don't really cuss and swear in my vlogs. I kind of try to make myself more palatable. It's easy just to be able to express your message without dropping an F-bomb. But when I went and saw this PewDiePie guy, who's the #1 guy on YouTube, he drops more crude, rude, explicit things than I've ever seen. So then I started thinking, if this is the forefront, if this is what's driving the plow of YouTube, then what am I worried about? And why do so? maybe sometimes I think maybe I try to censor myself, thinking that people don't hear these words every day. When an F-bomb here or there that's well placed, by the way, they're not just random. It was going to offend somebody when, like I said, somebody like PewDiePie is just running his mouth about that stuff all day long. No offense to Mr. that PewDiePie.
But see, the thing about him is that I don't know if it's, you think he has all these subscribers, all these viewers, and you think it's quality, and then you see it's a matter of a deluge of content and other people editing all the work for him. And I just...
See, I look at it different. I think his gimmick's manic. Manic. Bam, 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 blah! That's why my kid can't pay attention, because he's watching PewDiePie all day. And it's 2 seconds, every 2 seconds the screen's yelling, some memes blowing out in your face, And I think that's what's catching the audience is just the manicness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we try to be a little bit more relaxed, and we don't sit here and just roll out the F-bomb continuously. We just, we don't watch what we say, and then if somebody comes out with the cuss word or two, it's part of it, So I mean, it's
that's a good point there, Dan. That PewDiePie as a YouTuber, he does that, and he gets as many the following that he does. Transcribe that over to podcasts. Do you think that would work as effectively?
I don't think so. I think he's stuck to YouTube, honestly.
No, I don't mean I'm not saying by any means he should switch over, but if someone say I wasn't on YouTube and I had seen this guy PewDiePie and I thought, hey, his personality is really cool and he has all these people following him. I'd love to do something like that, but I don't really want to put myself on video. Maybe I can take that crazy, wild personality and do a podcast with that. Do you guys think that it would transcribe over well?
No.
No, he would sound uneducated.
But I mean, shock jock radio works, and it's...
Yeah.
And it's, but what Dan makes a point is what makes his video is all the crazy graphics and all that, and you would lose a lot of that if you try to do that style on podcasts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he has a kind face, so you can tell that he's producing a product. So I think that the video does help convey his, I think, nice demeanor, and he's just trying to have a good time and be in what I would call probably normal. I mean, we all yell and scream and mess around, and we all go PewDiePie sometimes. He's just not afraid to just let it 100%, be out there. I think. But if you want to cuss and swear a bunch in your podcast, you're going to seem
that we all have inside us.
Yeah. So I appreciate what he does.
Yeah.
Well, definitely.
Even though I don't watch.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, I'm 36. This is Rocco's modern life was as manic as I got. It's I don't get it. Yeah, so I leave that to my son.
I'm 35, so I understand.
Oh,
yeah,
get a lot of time now.
What?
I say, are we really gonna pull out the age cards now?
Yeah.
Oh, you be quiet, child.
I'm 45. How do you think I thought?
All right, everybody else go before me, and I'll make you all feel terrible.
Oh, you crazy YouTubers, get off our damn lawn.
Right. I gotta tell you something real quick.
I need to go get my grade covered. Come on, man. Come
Oh, me too. Me too. Can we get a discount on a dual package? Because
I'm gonna go yell. I'm gonna go yell at a cloud or an empty chair.
They were in the library the other day. Oh my gosh, crazy librarian. It was so mean. Book fairs next week is really bad. You want to see evil? You guys should follow me around next week, book fair time at school.
Eve, your picture disappeared.
That picture is cool.
I'm still here. Don't touch my books.
But I think Zach, when you discuss trying out a style that someone else does, I think that broaches a subject where I think there's one. Let me think how I want to say this. It's one thing to try different styles to find your groove.
Yeah.
And find out what you're good at, but trying to replicate someone else is not going to lead to a successful podcast or YouTube channel because you're not being yourself.
Right. And if you're not being yourself, you're not going to have any fun with it.
No.
Like that's the great thing about doing podcasts or YouTube channels is you find that niche and your own groove that you love, and everyone who watches you, they might love it too. And then you're going to feel good, they're going to feel good, and it's just going to be this big community of everybody just feeling good watching someone in their comfort zone, I guess.
But what I have learned and what I've gotten as advice from others and the advice I give, like I'm some great podcaster that can give advice, but is I listen to the podcast and watch the YouTube channels that are much like the content I want to create. And it's like when you're a writer, you read to become a better writer. Watch and listen to become a better podcaster and YouTuber. And it helps to see what works and what doesn't. You get ideas on how to edit things and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I listen to about 40 hours of podcasts a week, and you can get a sense of what's right, what's wrong, what works, what doesn't, what'll keep your attention. And yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely helps to. I don't know about. Whoa. Definitely helps. I don't know if you want to say do a little research, but definitely just to immerse yourself in the community that you're going towards, and really use those personalities that you're seeing, and just really helps to figure things out, because it can be tricky. I know for me, it took a long time for me to figure out what I wanted to do.
Yeah, it takes time. One of my favorite YouTubers is Andre the Black Nerd or Black.
Oh yes,
Black Nerd
Comedy.
And if you look, he started 7 years ago. If you look at his first videos compared to what he does now, it's day and night, and it's two different people, and it's a matter of just cranking out the content and just learning what works best for you.
Yeah. If you go back and look at one of my videos from 2009, it's unwatchable, man. Like it's cool, and it's cool to have something like that where you can look back and see, even like Andre, even his Konami Code video compared to what he did like not too long ago. It's you can tell that he's just like dialed himself in a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. My
Definitely.
first videos.
The sound quality for my show has gotten better and better throughout the course of our broadcast. Each episode sounds better than the last one.
Yeah.
Just because we are learning and we're figuring things out. And
I like to call it leveling up.
Yeah.
Leveling up.
Yeah.
There's honestly, there has to be also a willingness to at least invest a little into it. I mean, the example I kind of use as being an aspiring filmmaker is Michael Bay made his very first movie that got people's attention with just a handy cam, and then he made, and like a $50,000 budget, then he made Memento, and then he was brought on to or maybe Memento was the movie he made with a handy cam, but there was a movie right before that that he did for very little, and it's just learning and learning and getting better and better. You can do well with starting with a little bit, but there's a point as you grow, if you want to continue to grow, you have to put an investment in.
Yeah.
You gotta up the ante a little bit.
Yeah, like I went from a $50 little snowball mic to $150, professional level a blue mic, and there's a huge difference between sound quality just in that. My next goal is to learn audio mixing, and it's a matter, like Dan said, a matter of leveling up and improving things.
I mean, I'm still level 1. I have a Guitar Hero mic from my Guitar Hero from the Nintendo Wii that nobody plays anymore. And look how cool I think I feel with my $2 pop filter from Amazon. So I understand you're leveling up. One day I'll go to your $50 mic that you already leveled up from. So I agree. I totally agree.
I spent money on this bad boy.
Is that a Yeti?
No, this is oh crap.
Yeah. Yeah, what I have is a Yeti Pro.
You have a Yeti Pro. Yeah, we're like the more podcasts. I can't wait to get one of those arms. That looks so like professional. I love that look.
I've got like 4 of them.
Danny Duncan and Billy Burke, they have a couple of those on their podcast.
Oh yeah, but we all can't just throw money at it,
This took too much.
And it's like for my YouTube channel, I still have a lot to learn about YouTubing, but I mean about lighting and getting the right lighting and all that. It's like an RPG. You just gotta grind.
Yeah, and you know what's great about that is nowadays with YouTube, some 15-year-old kid's gonna show you how to do it in a YouTube tutorial video, and it's gonna be great. And I love that. I love that. Mm-hmm.
Google
Like,
is your best friend.
So much information from each other, and then using that, spreading it to other people and helping them grow. And it's just
so
it's like
quickly, so quickly. Yeah. This didn't happen 15 years ago, man. 20 years ago, we had no internet, man. We had to go outside and play and stuff, and it was so empty.
It was.
It was empty.
Boring, wasn't it? It was boring. I was an only child as a kid. I played a lot of video games. That's all I did,
And then AOL came, and then everything changed.
Right.
Yeah.
Nintendo changed everything.
600, man.
My next-door neighbor was into sports, like every sport, played everything, and he always wanted me to be involved. And I was like, dude, I'm going to sit here and watch you play. How about that?
Yep.
You deal with the sports stuff. Go, yay team, get the goal.
Hey, man, I like hockey, so...
Oh, hey, right. What's your team?
Well, I'm still trying to decide on one, actually. I was following St. Louis for a while, and then I was following the Stars for a little while. So
where do you live? What's your home?
Alexandria, Louisiana.
Louisiana. So you have
nothing.
Nothing. Okay, so you're free to pick.
Yeah. See, that's why.
Any recommendations, man?
No, I would shush him towards the Pittsburgh Penguins, my Pittsburgh Penguins I've loved for so long, but I don't want him to have to listen to me calling a sissy boy all the time. So, I pick something close to you, something close. As close to you as possible, I would think.
I would say go with Atlanta, but the city of Atlanta's lost 2 hockey teams in the last 30 years.
Yes, you have. Yeah.
The Stars are the only professional one around, but we got one in Lafayette. That's like what's the league underneath?
AHL team.
Yeah, and they're fun, but yeah, they're not professional hockey players. They're just guys that play.
Yeah, I would say pick something just close to home. That's all for sports today, guys.
Yeah. That's
I see the nerds just leaving, like, I don't know what they're talking about.
What they're saying.
I never watched
even Jared knows this. On the Nerd briefings that Kayla does, since she was the winner of the second.
When it comes to hockey, her hockey ADD has ADD.
Hey, don't knock the hockey. We got the Red Wings,
Yeah.
We have the Red Wings and the Tigers here, and then we have the Lions.
Well, I'm from 2 hours south of Chicago, so I have the Blackhawks and
Stick to them.
And the Bulls but it was
We have the Lions.
we'll not talk about the Bears right now.
The
But
Bears.
but it's an interesting experience because I grew up having my feet in both worlds. I was a nerd, but I was an athlete, and played defensive end in football and played baseball and all that. And it's possible.
Yeah, I play sports all growing up because that's just all we did. We went outside and played before the internet was around, So yeah, I feel like I'm a hybrid.
I break myself, so I'm not allowed to say anything. When I was younger, I was an athlete. Now Alice, what did I do when I went roller skating a couple years ago?
Yeah. What?
What happened when what did I do a couple years ago when I went roller skating?
I don't remember.
I broke both elbows.
I was gonna say both of them.
Well, I don't go partial. I don't go for a sprain. Why go? What? No. This isn't football. This is from a
go all in.
That's from catching a football at a Bears game. But the Lions won. So
Yeah.
my knee was softball. The elbows are rollers. I think that's all of them.
Eve is getting distracted again.
They're sports related. If you're gonna do it all the way.
It's true. And that goes with a lot of things in life, but hopefully
And
a
have
lot
health
of those
insurance.
definitely.
Ooh.
So one thing I'm wondering, that's been
Jared!
What?
back there. One thing I've been wondering.
I worked hard today. Sorry, Zach. Eve interrupted you.
No, that's all right. I was just wondering if anyone besides Eve saw Age of Ultron today.
Not
I
yet.
I know.
I saw it last night.
Oh, really?
Really?
I wasn't taking the kids to a night movie because it would have been pretty.
My girlfriend surprised me with tickets a month in advance.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cool.
But it was phenomenal.
Oh, it was
Phenomenal.
it was fun. It was so much
I'm
fun.
not saying phenomenal.
What?
It was not phenomenal.
Eve has a different opinion.
Wow,
It was good. It was good, but it was not phenomenal.
Could it be better than Guardians? Probably not.
I liked it better than Guardians.
I still don't think Guardians was the best Marvel movie.
See, I do. I really love Guardians.
Guardians was great, but I don't think it was the best Marvel movie.
I will admit
Because
that
Adventures in Space, I did not like it. It's exactly what it was. In every way. All it was Avengers in Space.
Oh yeah.
And
With good music.
the thing I found about Guardians was that it had, like, they are literally the underdogs of the Marvel Universe. I mean, they were all kind of like bad guy mentalities. They were out for themselves, and like then they got thrown in jail. So they had that kind of like misfit attitude, but they still came together.
Oh yeah.
Whereas you look at Avengers, and they were all like for the good of things on their own, and then just decided, okay, now we're gonna get pushed together. This might. I don't exactly know where I was going with that point, but I am for Avengers. If anyone
I
is
love
wondering
Avengers.
what
Hello.
sides.
I have my Hulk Buster right here.
You do have a
Yeah.
Shirt on. I've got a whole room
Yeah,
upstairs that's
And you should have seen what she was doing with that Hulk earlier.
Yeah, it was questionable. Let's say that.
Put the middle finger up.
I was enjoying it.
I would hope Hulk would have enjoyed it more, but that's pretty bad.
No.
Oh, I'm sure he
Right. Oh.
That's okay, during D&D, I was doing something funny with my I said I had a Captain America eye, and I was leaning closer, and then it fell out and went right into my cup of hot cocoa and splashed everywhere. So maybe I'm a little bit biased against,
Yeah. For a second there, when you had the shield up your eye, you reminded me of just Nick Fury when he takes his hat off or his eye patch off in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It's pretty spiffy.
Are we all done with Nick Fury or with Samuel Jackson?
Yes.
Are we burned out? Are we burned out?
It's time.
Oversaturation, maybe?
I don't know. They said he was coming back on
I
April.
don't think we'll ever be done with Samuel L. Jackson.
I don't know, man. I've had a lot of years of him being angry, and even on my Discover card commercials, he's like, "What's in your wallet?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's my credit card, man. It's okay. It's okay. There's no snakes on this plane. There's no snakes on this plane."
I would like to see more Coulson than Fury at this point. Let's just put it that way.
I don't
Yeah,
understand that love
Coulson-
for him.
Coulson's the more, how shall I say? He's the
It's
more
cool.
intriguing character.
Because
I mean,
he
he's
seems
got a lot of
average.
backstory to him.
That's true. That's true. He's like that Dos Equis guy.
The most interesting man on earth or something.
A little bit. Like he's got that mysterious thing about him that
I
you
don't
know.
find him as very often.
Dead.
I had a team to help me.
Coulson's the American James Bond. That's what it is.
It's true.
I mean, you look
With
at
a
Nick
really
Fury,
cool
you
car.
expect him to kick butt. I mean, if he doesn't kick butt, I mean, you see him and you're probably going to be scared of Nick Fury because he's always in the black leather and he's got the eye patch and he's. Coulson walks up, is like, yeah, I got Lola here, and then he kicks your butt, which is just, it's cool.
Yeah.
He's a thinking woman's, I don't know what to call him.
Man, person,
Man.
man, child.
I need Alex to come up with a word because I'm just.
I don't have one. He was really nice when I met him, though. I will say that. He was
That's
very,
always
very nice.
that always helps too.
Coulson.
He
When
was
someone's
so
super
I'm
nice.
telling you this.
What?
I met Coulson last year at Comic Palooza.
Oh.
I met him and May and Fitz and Ward. So,
Where is Comic Palooza? I know you guys have brought it up a few times. Where is that?
Houston, Texas.
In Texas? Okay.
That's where I am. So.
Okay, I'm from California, so, Yeah, I'm Comic-Con, WonderCon, it's Comikaze. I go to all those. Like, those are just right up,
You got
Los
all
Angeles
the
area.
awesome West Coast cons.
Yeah.
I'm Los Angeles. I'm right on the edge of Los Angeles. So yes, I get all the land of the craziness over here. So it's good.
I got Dragon Con.
Oh, lucky. Where do you live at? Are you Seattle?
No, Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay.
So hop on the train and just head out there.
The Walker StarCon is going to be in Atlanta too. I was asked if I wanted to go.
You should go because you can see Mike and Ming.
Well, yeah, that's the ones who asked me.
Yeah, you for sure should go and report back. I would be very interested in that.
Yeah,
It's podcast heavy on my podcast or on the podcast I listen to, so that would be cool.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Definitely. I know I'm definitely subscribing to the More Show to hear more of you guys.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, I'm starting to listen to more and more podcasts as I've been curious tonight, and I mean it's a great way to pass the time if you're doing a task, And I think that's the really awesome part about it is you don't necessarily need an internet connection to be able to experience them.
Yeah. Just download and go. Yeah.
Yep. It keeps me busy all day at work.
Very well. All right. Well, we are at 9 o'clock Central Time, so we're gonna wrap this up. And thank you all for joining us, Jared, Gary. Yes, John left. Sorry, it's late. It's actually 11 o'clock here, so it's kind of late. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the whole time thing. And Dan, thank you for joining us. It's really cool to see you on here.
Thank you for having me. Yes, it was fun. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. We are always glad to meet up with fellow nerds of any kind.
Yep.
All right. That's all for tonight. Any last thoughts from anyone else?
I would like to know. Go ahead, Jared.
No, you go ahead, Dan.
I would like to know where we could find everybody at, because I would like to subscribe to Jared as well, but I'm afraid as soon as we all get off of here, we're gonna be lost, and I'm never gonna.
Well, you don't just
guys are
connect
doing.
after he hits stop on. After he turns off the live thing, just stay on.
Okay, I was gonna say the same thing. That maybe we should go around and.
Yes, let's all
say the word of finding.
Okay.
Okay, I can go first.
Yeah, go for it.
My blog is jaredfinn.com, JARRODFINN.com. I haven't posted in about a couple months, but I'm about to get writing. I write everything. I post my poetry, theological thoughts, all things nerdy, that kind of stuff. You can follow me personally on Twitter. My handle is @JM_Finn. And my podcast on Twitter is @RenNerdcastPod. And my YouTube channel is just Jared Finn. YouTube.com/user/JaredMFinn.
Perfect. I already brought up all those pages.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm tapping them out here on my iPad so I can go in and put them in the description down below so everyone can go click them and just zoom right there.
Cool.
Okay.
Who's next?
You.
I'm everywhere.
Gary, you want to give us a plug?
I'm at a couple of different places. TheMoreShow.wordpress.com, or you can reach me at TheMoreShow.buzzsprout.com, and my Twitter handle is actually QuietRobert209.
Okay, sorry, what was your Twitter handle?
QuietRobert.
Quiet.
Yeah, like Silent Bob. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. And Dan, where are you?
Hi, hello. You can find me at youtube.com/rfsdan or on Twitter at rfsdan. I am a daily vlogger, so if you like manicness and people that try to pass off Guitar Hero Wii mics and nylon stretched over things to call pop filters, then this channel's for you. So follow me there. Thank you very much.
And he has cats.
And I have cats. Achoo.
Alice, you want to give us a plug?
You can find us on Facebook at Nerd Chat Central, on Twitter at Nerd Chat Central, and here on YouTube if you look for Nerd Chat Central. I kind of made it easy. It's one thing everywhere. And then you can find me personally as Wow Don't Panic on Facebook and Twitter. I also have a new Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Wow Don't Panic.
Do you play there?
Easy, yes. I play Xbox One games.
Oh, nice.
Pretty much anything I can get my hands on. So I just started it, so I'm really excited to get streaming.
I'll come hang out for sure.
I need to get back to my Twitch channel. It's been way too long since I've broadcast there.
Yeah. I really like broadcasting GTA 5 only because I yell at a lot of people on GTA 5, so that's always fun. So.
Yeah. And you guys can find me on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ZXK77, and then also on Facebook, ZXK77. But on Twitter and Instagram, I am at ZachATK77. And I've been trying to do daily videos for the past month for beta, but it hasn't exactly been going according to plan. Mostly I go on Sundays and Thursdays, so I'm going to get back to that schedule really soon.
You've been hanging in there.
Yeah, I've been going strong. More or less.
Yeah.
And Eve, you want to round us out?
The pressure. You can find me at EVGV on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever. And then I am on the How We Roll. That's the D&D pages. Yeah, Dan. It's all right. I'll spell it out. It's EVEJEEVIE. Childhood nickname. I wasn't planning on going anywhere with this, so it was just a goofy name I put in there for stuff. But on the How We Roll, on the Knights of Nirvana website, on their YouTube and their regular site, we're on there with our D&D things we do every week, and then there's like I think 1 or 2 podcasts up with Jared on there for the Turning the Page. And that's where you'd have to go to hear that lovely Nicolas Cage imitation. So I usually do a lot of unboxing and things like that.
Rock on. All right. Well, again, thank you, everybody, and to everyone who has watched or will watch in the future, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week. See you later, guys.
Hold go.
Bye.